And young people, I re-emphasize, you are a foundation. You might think of yourself as young, not yet important, but a new tribe starts from you. Every male child starts a new tribe. Why? Because you're supposed to marry one day. The seed that passes through the man's sexual organ does what? Passes under the ark of circumcision. So it becomes covenant seed, enters into the wife, impregnates, and incubation starts. 9 months later, a child is born, a covenant child. Whomsoever tampers with the pregnancy by way of abortion or anything else is tampering with covenant seed. It is a very dangerous thing to do. But you and I must remember, we are the beginning of a new tribe. I re-emphasize it. I spoke on it last Sunday. I am born into the family of Jasper Wando. But the Wando family, as I know it, started from Dara Wando. Before Dara Wando, his father was called Igweneme, Dara Igweneme. Before Igweneme, I don't know who was before Igweneme. So Igweneme's name ceased, and my father's name, Wando, became the name we are all answering. Then my grandfather's name, became the name we're all answering. He produced 3 sons, Jasper, Horatius, and Alphonsus, each of whom has their own tribe now. There is the J.O. Wando family, the H.I.C. Wando family, and the A.E. Wando family. Now, beyond that, every one of these streams has also produced new tribes, because there's now the Obikwe Wando family, the Emeka Wando family, the Dozie Wando family, the Ikenwoke Wando family, and my sister has gone and married to a town totally different. So she has joined to her husband, and she and Tobenna Orizu have started an Orizu tribe. Am I talking to somebody here? Each one of us is the beginning of a tribe. You see yourself as a small boy. You see yourself as a youth. You see yourself as a teenager. You're going into university. There are so many boys who will October rush you this October when you enter. But you need to get this into your head. There is a tribe that starts from you. So what others will do, you cannot do. They are thinking of fun, enjoyment, disco, university, I'm undergraduate now. You are thinking of your generations. 2 of you are not thinking of the same wavelength. You can't do what they do because you know more than they know. Be generation minded. God said in Genesis 25 verses 22 and 23, when the children struggled inside Rebekah, he said, 2 nations are in your womb. What did he say? 2 nations, tribes of people are in your womb. So you have a great responsibility, because the child in your womb is a nation. If Jesus tarries, it shall manifest. Have that mindset that Obikwe Wando tribe must excel, and their excelling will be based on the legacy I leave for them, and the choices I am making or have made as a teenager in school will determine what legacy I will be able to leave them in future. Because each child passes through a gateway. Your sexual organs are not just for enjoyment and urinating. They are the gateways of access of a new tribe into the physical world. So keep them sanctified, so that you will bring forth a generation with a foundation of sanctification. Because Psalms 11 verse 3 says, if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? Your tribes are coming. You are the forerunner of nations. Am I talking to somebody here? And what you do will speak for your nations. I have come into certain towns and I see certain patterns I know a particular town. The kind of womanizing they do in that town it almost remains for them to sleep with their own sisters, and some of them do it. It is more common than in most places. Am I talking to somebody here? It's incest, it's cursed of God, but amongst them it is very prevalent. A young lady called me and told me about the kind of sexual immorality that she sees in her generations, and she testified, from the family my mother comes from, it is endemic. And she says all my cousins are sleeping with one another. When I got born again, I fought sexual immorality like a tigress, because I knew it would destroy me, and God delivered me. I fought it with fasting, prayer, and struggle. I freed myself by the help of the Most High God, but I fought it. Hear me, child of God. Yet others, in fact, she was asking me, how do I set my generations free? Can you give me an idea what to do to set my father's house free? Because the thing is horrible. But it is the fault of a progenitor, somebody who didn't recognize he was the head of a tribe. And I told you of a town, the kind of sexual immorality in them. By the time I traced back in the history, I found out that the man who founded the village stole his father's youngest wife and eloped with his father had many wives. He took the youngest wife of his own father and ran away and went and started the community somewhere else. His father placed a curse on him. Everybody in the village, sexual immorality everywhere. And I'm talking of, these are people who don't even know who the name of their forefather, but what he did is speaking over all of them. When that man was doing that thing, he didn't know he was the beginning of a tribe, a town, a very big and prosperous town with very successful people. But the most successful amongst them, almost all of them have one problem, except those who've given their life to Christ. Anything that ties wrapper, the men will follow. Anything that wears trousers, the women will follow. Am I talking to somebody here? And they don't realize where it originated from. But when I got to know the history of their town, I knew immediately the root of their problem. The question is, what legacy are you leaving for your own generations? Everyone under the sound of my voice, I encourage you, brand your generation, brand your tribe for Jesus. It starts from the root. And your sexual organs, male or female, young people under the sound of my voice, they are part of that foundation. And verse 16 of that Hebrews 12 says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Morsel means tiny, insignificant piece of meat. He sold his birthright. Sex, sexual intimacy. Wait, when you're married, if you and your husband decide no walk for us, we're not leaving our bedroom for 1 week, God will say, carry go. You're not breaking any rule. Am I talking to anybody here? You're not breaking. Don't let anybody fool you. How can I marry somebody? Stupid things they used to say. How can I marry what I've not tasted? Then they taste them so since it's still there. You're not for tasting. You're not for trial and error. You're a daughter of the King. You are a royal prince of the house of Jehovah. You are not for experiment. Am I talking to young people in this house? Moreover, every jumping from this girl or this boy to this bed, you are already contaminating generations. You can't afford it. October rush is for you to rush to Jesus, not from you to rush from boyfriend to boyfriend. Am I talking to children of God in this house? Will that make, but I'll be different. Listen, be proud to be different. That is your unique difference. That is who you are. Your name is not everybody. Everybody is doing it. My name is not everybody. I am speaking to you young people, and I'm telling you, you must know why you cannot do what other people are doing. Because if you don't know your why, you will fail like everybody else. What is your why? I will not mess up my generations. Know that you are the beginning of a tribe. Be legacy minded. Know that every choice you make will speak for your generations. And please, I beg every one of you, I said it before, but I'm saying it in a different way. Brand your tribe for Jesus. Joshua 24:15. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, Joshua was saying to the whole of Israel, choose you this day whom ye will serve. Anybody, free choice. Do what you like. Live the kind of everybody else in school can be everybody. You are not everybody. You are a prince, a princess of the Lord. Brand yourself. Choose you this day. It's a choice, and choices are so important. Choose whom you will serve, whether the gods which your father served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, the father of the house is speaking. What did he say? We will serve the Lord. He has branded his family. He has branded his family the followers of Jehovah. You are the father and beginning of a generation. Brand your generation. Brand your tribe for Jesus. You know what branding means? There are many washing powders in the market. Which are the most popular ones today? Omo, Ariel, and what? And Clean. Minus these three, and others. Is it not so? At one time it was Soft. That one has disappeared. So a brand is what causes you to be known. Is that not so? A name, a packaging that causes you to, colors that cause you to be known. Please, young men in particular, young people in general, brand your tribe for Jesus. It is a brand that every father must leave as a legacy to his generations. Some of us don't recognize that as children, youth, the choices we're making today, we're already branding our generations. Some of us don't know that the transference of spirits we're collecting through sexual recklessness, even though we're married, we're transferring and branding our generations as wayward, fornicators, adulterers, people who cannot stay in one marriage. And when things begin to break apart, you wonder, how come this man this my son is divorcing one today, marrying another tomorrow, divorcing? It is you did not divorce their mother, but you had 7 girlfriends outside and you were changing them like rapper. You were changing them outside the marriage. The only thing is he's changing his own inside, but it's the same changing. It's you that brought in change. It is you that brought the change, that your whole family is now changing. Even the girls who go to their husband's house and cannot stay there, one to marriage has broken. What legacy are you leaving to your tribe? Brand your tribe for Jesus. There are many people who will be saying, so what about us? We missed it. We never heard this kind of message early enough. There is a God of a second chance. There is a God who says, the day of ignorance I will overlook. There is such a thing as secondary virginity. I am just finding out now. I've already made the mistake. There is a place for you to commit yourself from this time forward. No more fornication, no more adultery, no more immorality. It might be necessary to come in for deliverance, to clear up the old mess, and then you wait upon the Lord until he sets you in your home.
Our generation shall praise your name. Our generation shall praise your name. Our generation shall praise praise your name. Our generation shall praise your